Hello, my name is Yash, and the goal of my personal project was to create my own fan using recyclable resources. A fan is different from normal fans as it is built from recycled materials such as plastic, and I use solar energy instead of connecting it to a socket. Personal interest in the personal project. Building has always been my passion. I'm very interested in physics and always wonder how engineers build machines. Another interest I have is to have a sustainable environment. I believe everyone should make an effort into doing so. For instance, one reason is that pollution is a major issue in the world, and I feel like everyone needs to make a small effort to reduce pollution. The goal was highly challenging for me because it was my first time making something electrical and functional. I had no experience in assembling any parts. I also had to make sure that the fan was at a certain budget. I chose to make it like below 200,000 T shillings. I had to learn things such as how to connect a solar panel to my fan. I had to learn new skills and new tools and how to use new tools such as soldering a wire to the motor. Also, the most challenging part about this personal project is that maintaining the product. So, because really small factors can affect the functionality of the fan, like the right voltage of the solar panel. The global context I chose for my personal project was scientific and technical innovation because it allowed me to be more focused on the goal and make my research detailed. I got the idea of using plastic and solar energy because it makes my project innovative, as I'll be using a different material that will impact the environment in a positive way, and it makes the overall cost of the product way cheaper. So when I was doing this personal project, I didn't waste a lot of money. My total cost for the project was around 40,000 T shillings. My prior knowledge regarding my personal project was the physics behind fans. I learned this in my previous school that about machines, and one of them was about the fan. In my physics class, I learned that the fan blades pull the air and make it move faster, making the room cooler. When I started making my product, I started by using the specifications and plan I created. I began to work on my fan. During the process of making my fan, I decided that I needed a plan which will help me carry out the process. This plan was like a layout for the fan with measurements and different designs, and from there I ended up developing my product into how it is right now. After creating my design, I began working on my fan by using the criteria made for it. To do this, I got all the parts I needed for the project. Throughout the process of me building my fan, I faced a couple of challenges. The first challenge was that it took me a lot of time just to find the parts that I needed, so I ended up wasting a lot of time. The second challenge was that I could not find some parts that I needed for the fan, and those were really small parts that were important. So what I had to do was just improvise and use things such as rubber from the bottle caps, and used wood around my house to build my fan. Third challenge was that during the time it was really rainy, and I could not charge my solar panel, and due to that I wasted a lot of time because I needed to see if my fan worked or not. I made a few changes when I was building my fan. These changes include the blades. The blades weren't actually curved from the start, they were straight, but then when I was researching, it told me that curved blades are just better for fans. So I decided to make my blades curved. Throughout this personal project, I developed 4 IB learning profiles. These include communicative, thinker, inquirer, and reflective. I'd improved my communication skills by visiting different workshops and meeting different people every day. And I had to communicate with them in a language I was not so familiar with. I also had to communicate with my supervisor and keep in touch with him, ask him about his opinion and any improvements I could make to my report or my product. I arranged meetings with him, and I also asked my peers about what they thought of my product and things I could improve on. I improved my skills as a thinker because I had to think of alternative ways to find a solution. Like I mentioned before, that I use rubber from beer bottle caps because I could not find the parts to connect the blade and to the motor. So what I ended up doing was using the rubber from the beer bottle cap and glue tack to connect them. And you'll see on a clip later on at the end of the video that it works perfectly. I improved my skills as a reflector because I had written reflections regarding to anything related to my personal project, and it's mandatory for everyone to write reflections of their personal project. And lastly, I'd improved my skills as an inquirer because I had to produce research questions on different parts of the fan. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. At the end of the video, you'll see a clip of my fan working. Thank you.